guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the book Practical Magic. This is one of my favorite movies, and I'm going to go through and tell you how the movies are different from the book and just overall how they did with that. So let's go ahead and begin. If you see me looking to the side, I have notes on a notepad over here. That's just how I do my book reviews. So, alright. As I said, this book review is going to be a little different because I'm going to be comparing the book Practical Magic to the movie Practical Magic starring Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. So let's get into it. So to begin with, I'm going to read the back of the book for you guys. The Owens sisters confront the challenges of life and love in this bewitching best-selling novel. For more than 200 years, the Owens women have been blamed for everything that has gone wrong in their Massachusetts town. Jillian and Sally have endured their fate as well. As children, the sisters were forever outsiders, taunted, talked about, pointed at. Their elderly aunts always seemed to encourage the Whisperers' witchery, with their musty house and their exotic concoctions and their crowd of black cats. But all Jillian and Sally wanted was to escape. One will do so by marrying, the other by running away. But the bonds they share will bring them back, almost as if by magic. So the first thing I want to say about this book is it was really well written. The author takes a little bit of magic and sprinkles it into the everyday lives of the Owens sisters. But she does it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're reading a fairy tale. The magic shown in the novel is so subtle that you can almost believe this stuff could actually happen. I like the way the author uses nature to kind of foreshadow. When the sisters start to see the lilacs growing out of control and crazy, they know something bad is going to happen. And when Sally Owens' daughter finds out about the bad thing their mother and aunt did, it is because they noticed the rose bushes in the back where it all happened going crazy as well. The use of nature as a foreshadowing tool is not something I've seen used before, and the whole use of nature ties in with the magic theme because witches really depend really heavily on earth and nature for their practice. So I think that was a good way of tying the whole witch aspect in with the book. Now, onto the characters themselves. The Owens sisters, Sally and Jillian, are as different as night and day. Sally is the oldest and the most mature. She's level-headed and the voice of reason in most situations. Jillian, on the other hand, is reckless and irresponsible. She runs away at 18, desperate to leave their small town where the family name is cursed, and Jillian tends to bring trouble with her everywhere she goes. The author also uses the characters' appearances to represent their differences. Jillian is blonde and beautiful and is really into the whole idea of love and falling in love, while Sally, while also beautiful, has very dark hair and never wants to fall in love. She's totally against it after she loses her husband. There are also two other kind of main characters, Kylie and Antonio. These are Sally's daughters. These sisters are complete opposites. The author uses trauma to bind both sets of sisters together. Sally and Jillian bond through the trouble that Jillian brings with her back to Sally's house after she runs away and meets a rather bad guy. And Kylie and Antonia don't exactly get along at the beginning of the book, but are bonded through the trauma that Kylie goes through on her way to her friend Gideon's house, and she runs to her sister for help. When the author first introduces Kylie, she explains right off the bat that Kylie is different. The author uses Kylie's differentiability to kind of introduce some major plot twists. She's the only one who can see the dead guy in the backyard. She can see the aura around people and kind of tell if they're good or bad, how they're feeling, stuff like that. So she uses Kylie's ability as a foreshadowing to give you an idea of what is coming in the future. Now, between the difference between the books and the movie. To begin with, the book is not set at the aunt's house at all. And Sally's daughters are a lot older. Inside of the movie, they're like, I want to say 12 is the oldest. And inside the book, Antonia is 17 or 18, being ready to go off to college. And Kylie's 16. Or 13, one of the two. The next difference is the movie left out the entire Ben Frey storyline, which I think should have been included because Jillian's love story and her falling in love with Ben is kind of the thing that really makes Jillian grow up in the novel. The movie focuses mostly on Sally falling in love, while the book focused more and spent more time telling about Jillian's love story, and there was very little about Gary inside of the entire book, which is the guy that Sally falls in love with. There's very little about him in the book. I think he's in like 2 chapters of that. In the book, there is no list that the girls write about who they want to fall in love with. In the movie, they have where they list off, Sally writes this impossible list of things that the guy she falls in love with has to have for her to be able to love him. 2 different colored eyes, ride a pony backwards, stuff like that. That is not in the book at all, which I was kind of disappointed about because that is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And there's no mention of Gary having 2 separate colored eyes in the book. That's not there at all. They changed that just to fit in with the whole, he has to have 2 separate colored eyes on the list of guys she wants to fall in love with. One thing I did like that was included in the book and the movie is the story of Maria Owens at the end and the beginning. That really does give you some context as to what they mean by witchcraft, because these aren't the type of witches with the boils in their noses and green skin. That's just not them. Another thing I was really happy that they kept was the finishing line at the end of the book. Let me find it real quick. It's the same quote at the end of the book and the end of the movie. There are some things, after all, that Sally Owens knows for certain. Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. Add pepper to your mashed potatoes. Plant roses and lavender for luck. And fall in love whenever you can. That is one of my favorite quotes inside of the book, and they also have it inside of the movie because I was reading this last night and I remembered going through and thinking, hey, that's in the movie. So I was very happy that they included that in there. Overall, I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved the movie when I was younger. I loved the book that I just found. It was great. It was well written and a book I could really easily get into. I read it in a day and a half. I started this book hoping it was going to be as good as the movie, and it was even better. This is not a book for kids, but if you enjoy the movie, I would recommend the book even more. It kind of digs deeper into the personalities of the girls and gives you a more in-depth idea of what's going through their heads while all this is happening. And yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you for the next book review. Remember, like, subscribe, check out the playlist with the rest of the book reviews if you're interested, and I'll see you later. Bye!